This is the sound checklist that every flutist needs. More often than not, we find ourselves having a bad tone day and then getting hyper focused on tiny little adjustments here or there to try and correct it. Ultimately, I found over my years of teaching and performing that the things on this checklist are really the ones that make the biggest difference when we're having that sound day that we're not happy with, because they really underpin the fundamentals of sound. It's really not worth our time to go through a whole bunch of tiny little band-aid fixes or over controlling with the lips. It's better to just have a list of the most common reasons why the sound is not working and try all of those first. The absolute most common reason for the sound not to be working the way you want it to on any given day is because of issues in the breath. First of all, when we get stressed out and tense, especially when we have a big performance coming up or an audition, we tend to get tight, especially in the ribs here. And this tightness impacts our ability to take a full breath and relax the intercostal muscles between the ribs. So the first thing I always do when I'm having a bad sound day, honestly every day, it's part of my warm-up, is a breathing exercise. So I would recommend that you spend at least a couple of minutes, if the sound is really poor though, up to 10 minutes doing a breathing exercise. So you can use a metronome, put it on 60, you breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and then exhale for 4, hold for 4. The whole time you're really looking at breathing properly. So you want this nice expansion around from the back to the front of the rib cage. So it looks like this. Hold. Hold. Okay, with the metronome at 60. And then just paying attention not to drawing in as much air as possible, but to getting expansion in the ribs here, around the back, trying to get some flexibility in those muscles. If you do it for several minutes, you'll start to feel, okay, I can take air a little bit deeper. I'm opening up more space, and then go to play the flute, and right away, there should be a difference in the quality of the sound. The second thing on the checklist that is most commonly impacting the sound is posture. Also, because posture can impact the breathing. So if you've done all the breathing and you're not seeing a great difference or great improvement, I would take a look at the posture. Okay, so when we are stressed, sometimes we are like compressing the chest, which can really impact our ability to access support. Or maybe we are just in the habit of playing with the flute kind of low, or it's not lined up on our face somehow. So checking the posture. 1, you want your spine to be stacked and straight so that your rib cage has freedom, okay? If the ribs are flared forward like this, or forward, then we can't very easily breathe into the back and access support. Shh. You can hear there that I'm running out of air as I'm drawing the support in really fast. Opposite to that, if the chest is compressed, it's difficult to get air around at the front, almost impossible to access our support, which of course impacts the quality of sound. I'll show you from the side as well. Here my chest is compressed, so I feel that air coming into my back, and now I really don't have a lot of ability to access this support. Again, if I put my rib cage in a nice position where it's not flared forward and the chest is not compressed, so just standing up straight. You can try just standing against a wall, not leaning against a wall, but just standing against a wall, okay? Then I take that breath in. There, I got expansion all the way around, and now, I have access to my support again. So posture, really, really important. In terms of alignment with the flute, if my flute is too far down, you can hear it, there's extra air in my sound there, and it's just a matter of lifting the flute up. That sound's going to project a lot better. Number 3, support. Okay, so we talked about basically how all of these things are impacting another. So now I'm going to talk about support specifically, where in the previous checklist item, we were talking about how to get access to support. So if you're breathing well, you're opened up flexibility in your ribs, and your posture is conducive to accessing support and taking a good breath, the next thing to look at is the support itself. Are you using enough support? I am so guilty of forgetting to engage enough support. And then I wonder why my sound isn't working as well on any particular day, especially playing softly. I find when I am having a hard sound day, I have much more difficulty playing softly. Playing loudly comes more easily for me. So we can look at the support. You want to make sure, first of all, maybe you just need to warm it up. So something like shh, 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 shh can really help there. Now I've engaged the support. I feel those muscles drawing in, so bringing the belly button towards the spine. Next, we can add the flute. So I'm just going to play some notes without my tongue, starting with the air, using that same shh, 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 okay? The point here is not to have a beautiful sound, it's to get the support to start engaging. So okay, I'm feeling a bit tired after that. That's all just with air. Nice short notes, no tongue. So that really gets my support to start engaging. If I did that for 2 to 5 minutes, I would start to notice a really big difference again in the quality of sound, because now I'm really connecting and engaging with my support. There are so many different things that can impact our quality of sound. And this is not about saying that these 3 things will fix anything or solve any problem. This is more about understanding that when the sound isn't working, especially if you feel like, okay, this is just not my regular sound today and I need to correct it. I really want to sound like I normally do. These 3 things are what is most often underpinning that sound being tight or inflexible on that day. And hopefully now you can understand more how they all stack onto one another. You must breathe well. You must have capacity of air in order to play the flute. You must be standing in a way and lining up your posture in a way where you can breathe well so that you have air to have capacity to play the flute. And lastly, you have to use support to control the speed of the air, especially when you're playing at the really soft dynamics or in the really high register. And so breathing well is important, standing in a way where you can access that support, and then really engaging with that support.